What made Bruce Lee unstoppable? Was it his lightning-fast kicks, his jaw-dropping power, or maybe his unbreakable mindset? Well, it wasn't just one thing. It was his secret training methods that nobody talks about. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the hidden techniques that turned Bruce Lee into a living legend. Stick around, because you've never heard some of these before. Bruce Lee wasn't just a martial artist. He was a pioneer. He didn't train like everyone else in the 60s and 70s. While others were stuck in tradition, Bruce was blending science, philosophy, and some seriously wild ideas to push his body and mind to the limit. These methods were so ahead of their time that even modern athletes are still catching up. So, let's dive into the 7 secret training hacks that made Bruce Lee the icon we know today. First up, the 1-inch punch. You've seen it. Bruce knocking guys back without even winding up. But how did he do it? It wasn't magic. It was obsessive training. Bruce drilled explosive power with short-range punches, focusing on his hips and core to transfer energy like a coiled spring. He'd practice with a heavy bag, hitting it from just an inch away, over and over. Want to try it? Start with planks and rotational twists to build that snap. It's all about power, not distance. But here's what most people don't know. Bruce also trained isometric holds in his punch position, developing insane stability. He combined this with speed drills, throwing 50-plus short punches in rapid succession to build reflexive power. To maximize efficiency, he studied physics and worked with martial arts experts to perfect his energy transfer. Next, let's talk about those insane 2-finger push-ups. Bruce didn't just do regular push-ups. He'd balance on his thumb and index finger, building unreal hand strength. Why? Because grip and finger power gave him an edge in trapping, striking, and controlling opponents. He'd also squeeze tennis balls and hang from bars for minutes at a time. The result? Hands like steel traps. But his grip training went even further. He used iron rings, rolling them up and down his arms to condition his forearms and wrists. He also practiced rice bucket training, repeatedly clenching his fists deep in a bucket of rice to strengthen his tendons. And let's not forget his forearm training. Bruce did heavy wrist curls to generate shocking wrist power, turning his hands into deadly weapons. These weren't just party tricks. They were the foundation of his combat effectiveness. Here's one you might not expect: isometric training. Bruce would hold positions like pressing against a wall or locking out a punch for up to a minute without moving. This builds strength in a way weights can't, targeting every muscle fiber. He'd even do it with his legs, holding deep stances to mimic real combat. It's low-key, but intense. Give it a shot. Hold a push-up position for 30 seconds and feel the burn. But Bruce took it further. He'd hold his strikes at full extension, training his muscles to stay locked and explosive under tension. He also applied isometrics to his grip strength, squeezing objects like bamboo sticks as hard as possible for long durations. Even his stance work was isometric. He'd sink into a horse stance for minutes at a time, pushing his endurance to the absolute limit. This wasn't just strength training. It was about creating an unshakable foundation for his explosive movements. Number 4, shadowboxing with weights. Bruce didn't just punch the air. He'd grab 2 or 3-pound dumbbells and throw hundreds of combos. This wasn't about bulking up. It was about speed and stamina. The weights forced his muscles to adapt, so when he dropped them, his fists flew like lightning. Modern fighters use resistance bands for this now, but Bruce was doing it decades ago. Start light and watch your punches level up. But here's where it gets interesting. Bruce didn't just throw punches with weights. He also practiced defensive movements, weaving and slipping while holding them to make his reflexes razor sharp. He even ran with wrist weights, turning basic cardio into a full-body conditioning drill. The result? His hands moved faster than most people's thoughts. Try it yourself. Start with light weights, keep your form tight, and unleash your inner dragon. Now this one's different. Mental training. Bruce believed the mind was his ultimate weapon. He'd meditate daily, visualizing every move, every fight, down to the smallest detail. He'd see himself winning before he even stepped in the ring. It wasn't just confidence, it was programming his brain for success. Try this. Close your eyes, picture your next workout, and feel the strength flowing. But Bruce didn't stop at visualization. He also wrote down his goals with pinpoint clarity, treating his training like a science. He practiced breath control, syncing his breathing with his movements to stay calm under pressure. And he even studied philosophy, shaping his mindset to remain unshaken in the face of any challenge. His belief? As you think, so shall you become. This wasn't just mental training, it was mental mastery. But here's the key. Bruce didn't just visualize success, he felt it. He engaged every sense, imagining the sweat, the impact, the rhythm of the fight, making his training sessions real in his mind before they happened. He also trained focus like a muscle, using intense concentration drills to block out distractions. Whether in combat or life, his mind was always sharp, always one step ahead. Fuel matters, and Bruce was meticulous about his diet. He ate clean, lots of lean protein, veggies, and rice, but he also blended his own protein shakes before they were cool. One secret weapon, royal jelly, a nutrient-packed bee product he swore by for energy. He avoided processed junk and kept his meals small but frequent to stay lean and explosive. It's simple. Eat like a warrior, perform like one, but there's more. Bruce also took ginseng and honey-infused tonics, believing they boosted his stamina and recovery. He wasn't just about eating right, he was obsessed with nutrient timing, ensuring he fueled up before workouts and replenished afterward with high-protein meals. He even experimented with juicing, mixing raw fruits, vegetables, and eggs into his shakes to maximize absorption. His goal? To keep his body as finely tuned as his fighting skills. No wasted energy, no unnecessary weight, just pure efficiency. Last up, Bruce's DIY gear. He wasn't satisfied with standard equipment, so he built his own. The wooden dummy? Perfect for trapping drills. Modified punching bags? Tuned for speed and power. He'd even tweak weights and pulleys to hit specific muscles. This guy was a mad scientist of fitness. You don't need fancy tools, just creativity. Rig up what works for you and train like Bruce. But it didn't stop there. Bruce designed a custom forearm conditioning device, using thick metal rods to toughen his limbs for blocking and striking. He even added resistance bands to his heavy bag, forcing himself to punch through extra tension, years ahead of modern training methods. And let's not forget his homemade grip strength tools, like crushing metal cans and twisting thick ropes to build hand power. Bruce proved that innovation beats expensive gear. If you're serious about training, you'll find a way to push your limits. Bruce Lee's secret methods weren't just about getting stronger, they were about breaking limits. He fused body, mind, and innovation into a system that's still unmatched. Whether it's the one-inch punch or mental focus, these techniques can inspire us all to push harder and think bigger. Bruce once said, "Don't get set into one form, adapt it and build your own." So, what's your next move? If you loved uncovering Bruce Lee's secrets, smash that like button, subscribe for more martial arts and self-improvement gold, and share this with your fellow Bruce Lee fans. Let's keep his legend alive. Stay legendary, and I'll catch you in the next one.